I can. Hello, everyone. Folks that have signed in early, thank you so much. We are going to get started right at 1 o'clock. If you don't know me, I am Troy Thiel. I am with the Real Broker group here in Madison, Wisconsin. That's a cool Madison house I've sold before. And we really appreciate you signing up for this fantastic event brought to you by our new AREAA Greater Milwaukee, and it's really Wisconsin chapter, and our friend Maitri Meyer also with Actually Done. So you have seen those emails and gotten information about what we'll be talking about today. We've got two presenters. So welcome to the AREAA Live webinar. It's titled How You Can Dominate in 2024. This event is going to be packed with great information for you, and it will be recorded. So everyone who will receive a copy of the recording within 24 hours, and we will have excellent time for interaction and conversation. Both speakers will stay around after the event for another 15 minutes, and we'll kind of have an open conversation then. And there are times within the webinar where we'll be discussing and have a Q&A. Things to point out, if you're not an AREAA member, please go to areaa.org, AREAA.org, to learn more about AREAA, and that's the national website. And then you can see the chapters, the link to our website. We also have a Facebook group page called AREAA Greater Milwaukee. And then you can also connect with any of us here to ask questions, and we can set up a time for one of our board members or members to talk with you and meet you. And we've got events that happen throughout the year. Our next major event is our gala coming up in early January. Taking care of, if you've not printed out the career alignment worksheet, Kia Lore, who is our membership director, board member, is our tech director today, and she can put that in the chat. All questions, please use the Q&A section also, and that would be great. And then we'll be monitoring those for asking questions during the event, or we can also follow up. The Q&A and chat features are both on the left side of your screen or at the bottom of your cell phone, and all participants will be on mute. So the Q&A is really the best way to communicate with us during the webinar. This will be a 60-minute live interactive. We will have 5 polls as well to get information about you and what you're thinking, and how we can tailor our presentations and some of our Q&A. And again, there will be additional time. So I'm going to hold the phone. We've got about a minute or so to go, and then it's time to get started. Again, I'm Troy Thiel. I'm with the Real Broker. I am a board of director for the AREAA Greater Milwaukee group, and I have been an AREAA member since 2015 in Seattle, and I was also a member in Chicago. And I've spoken at national conferences and the global summit we had in 2018 as well, and I ran several panels there. So everybody is loading in. I see folks coming in. We're going to start in about a minute. All right. I've got a little timer to keep us on track. My little timer is going off. It is 1 o'clock. I want to thank you all for coming to our AREAA Greater Milwaukee seminar today. It is going to be a fantastic one. It is a interactive one. We have a chat and a Q&A. So Q&A is the best way to communicate with us. All callers are on mute. I am Troy Thiel. I'm with the Real Broker Group here in Madison, Wisconsin, and I am excited to be involved with this webinar that we're having, that AREAA Greater Milwaukee is having, along with my friend Maitri Meyer of Actually Done. Laura Vang will also be presenting. He'll be our first presenter on how to have a great year and dominate and improve your business in 2024. So without much ado, let's get down to some of the business. Quick tech overview. All participants are in listen-only mode. And again, please use the Q&A feature. Kia Lore, our membership director board member, is our tech director. So she will be monitoring it, and she will put in the chat our career alignment worksheet. If you haven't printed it out, please do if you can. Please type in any questions again into the Q&A. And if you have the option to have us reply publicly or private. If you want this to get in touch with you after the event and just answer that question privately, please just type private in your question. And we will be sending out this webinar in 24 hours, a recording of it. And Kia, it's time. Let's get cracking. I will also do a little more introduction with both Laura and Maitri at the beginning of their presents. But we have our first poll, and we will be presenting 5 of those through the presentation. So let's practice with the first one and to get an idea how long people have been in the real estate business. So Kia, please send that poll out. How long have you been in the real estate business? I've been in it since 1992. I can't even do that math. It's a long time. I had a full head of hair like Laura does there in his picture when I started. I miss the hair. As moderator, I cannot see the poll. Kia, are we getting answers?
Yep, everybody's good. They are coming in. Thank you, guys.
Okay, great. So this is the first time I've used Zoho. It's got some great features. We've been practicing it. If we have a little tech support need, that's why Kia's on. She's fantastic with it. So why don't we close the poll out in about 4 seconds? So 4, 3, get your answers in 2, 1, 0. So please close the poll, Kia. And I can't, I don't know if I can see the poll results as moderator. I'm not seeing that.
So we have, for not yet in real estate, we have about 20% voted, and then 0 to 1 year, we have 10%. Mm-hmm. Then most people seem to be in the 2 to 5 years, 50%.
Okay.
6 to 10 years, 0%. And over 10 years, we have 20%.
Okay, great. Yeah, it's a fun business, and some of us have been in it longer than others, but we're here to learn. So let's get cracking at it. Our first speaker today is Laura Vang, who's a friend of mine and a colleague, and our first president of the AREAA Greater Milwaukee chapter. He's a fantastic leader, a fantastic real estate agent, and a fantastic systems guy. In 2 years of real estate, he is killing it. He has been an investor in real estate for the last 15 years, but he went full-time and left his previous occupation. And I think, Laura, are you going to top 50 transactions this year or 60? Where are you at?
For my brokerage, eXp Realty, I'm in the top 20 right now. So.
Yeah, he's killing it. So, and Laura works for the eXp Realty Group in the Milwaukee market. And again, he's our president and a great leader. And it's been fantastic to get into business with him and to get into advocacy for AREAA. Again, if you're needing to find out more info about AREAA, please go to AREAA.org. And that information's been, and we'll follow up with that. So without further ado, I should get out of the way and let Laura discuss with you what his presentation is. And again, please put any questions in the Q&A.
All right. Thanks, Troy, for the awesome introduction there. Let me share my screen and make sure everybody can see my presentation. Can you guys see that? Troy, can you? Yep. Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you, everyone, for being here and joining us on this webinar call. And I'm going to be presenting on business planning for 2024 to help you with your real estate agent business so that you can dominate in 2024. So real quick, a little bit about me so you know a little bit more. I've been in the real estate industry for 15 years as an investor and 5 as a real estate agent. The last 2 years I've been full-time. I'm currently with eXp Realty as an agent, and I'm a certified mentor there. So I mentor brand new agents in the industry who join the company. And I'm also a Success certified coach. So if you've ever seen Success magazine, Success is a company that's been around since the 1800s, helping business owners, entrepreneurs with their business endeavors. And my specialty there is real estate. So I help real estate agents as well there. And then, as Troy mentioned, I am the first president of AREAA Greater Milwaukee, and also one of the founders that helped to bring that organization here. So we are the 45th chapter, and there are 18,000 members nationwide. So let me begin by talking a little bit about the state of the market that we've been seeing, right? Most everyone here is in real estate, I believe, so everybody's seeing the crazy market that we've had so far in 2023. It's been another roller coaster ride. And those of us who work in the industry, I mean, we've been dealing with the ever increasing home prices, the low home inventory, and the rising mortgage rates, right? So this year, rates got up to as high as 8% and didn't really help our business too much. And then, of course, we have the recent commission lawsuits. And, you know, all of these things combined, I mean, should we be concerned as real estate agents in the business? And so I'm going to Kia's help right now to launch the poll. At any point in this year, have you considered either quitting or getting a second job to make ends meet? So hopefully that poll is out. I can't see it on my end as I'm presenting right now, but if you guys can answer the poll. Just personally speaking, I mean, I've never seen a time in my 5 years of being an agent where so many real estate agents that I've met either online through socials or even in person were talking about, man, this year's been really rough for me for my business, or seeing other agents, you know, having to leave the industry or get another job. So if you guys can quickly fill out the poll. Kia, what's the results on that?
So we have 36% have voted yes and 63 voted no.
Okay. All right. So, you know, with all the media, all the news and all that, I think one of the quotes that we need to, you know, have in the back of our mind is that every day you have to stand guard at the door of your mind. And this quote is by Jim Rohn. Especially in today's world with social media and just the general media, everybody wants attention. Everybody is creating those clickbait articles, right? Whether the information is accurate or not, there's a lot of noise out there. And if you're not focused on your business and you're being distracted by the noise, even like the you know, commission lawsuits, and you're worried about those things, then you're not focused on your business. So definitely something that we need to actively do is to, you know, protect our mind. And then, of course, to dominate the you know, your business, right, for the year, you have to have a plan. So plan your work and work your plan. If you don't really have a plan at all and you are just trying to wing it, throw everything on the wall and see what sticks, then essentially, I mean, you're setting yourself up for failure. So how do you come up with a plan? Well, what you really want to do is figure out, what do you really want? You know, what is your ultimate goal, right? And don't be afraid to dream big. You know, start with your biggest goals, right? So what are you in the industry for? You know, why are you a real estate agent? Are you looking for that financial freedom? Are you looking for time freedom? Are you looking for location freedom, right? And then also, like, how many homes do you want to sell a year? So, you know, is that 100 homes? How much commission do you want to earn, right? Is it 100,000? Is it more? And the most important thing is to write down your goals. So this is, at this point, Kia's going to launch the other poll question, which is, how often do you write down your goals? And if you can fill that out. And so, you know, this is really important, because if you have goals in your mind, but you don't actually write it down, and it's not, you know, it's not real, you don't see it every day, it's just floating around somewhere in the back of your head and you kind of forget from time to time, well, then you're not focused on that, right? And so you're not really going to do it. And what you need to do is write it down so that you own it. Put it on a sticky note, write it on your mirror, put it on your monitor, so that every time you sit at your desk, you're focused on it. And it's kind of like the law of attraction, right? The more that you think about it, the more that you're going to make it come true. And the more what you focus on is what grows. And so, Kia, you want to give a highlight of what the results were?
Yep. So for so our choices were never, 1 to 2 times a year, quarterly, monthly, weekly, or daily. We have 9% at never, and then 72% at 1 to 2 times a year. 9% at quarterly, and 9% at monthly.
All right, awesome. So, and then of course, once you have your goals written down, right, now it's time to take action. So what actions will you need to take? And as real estate agents, I mean, it's all about lead generation. So for us, I mean, how will you prospect, right? So decide where you want to focus your time and your energy. Can you mute, Kia? And then, so, and that might be for you. You might be a cold caller. You might want to send mailers. You might want to work your SOI, or if you're in the digital world, you know, you want to do social media or video content through YouTube or other platforms. And then, of course, to go beyond your SOI, you want to grow your network, right? So you want to attend industry events. You want to go to conferences, join local associations like AREAA to expand your network of professionals. You want to surround yourself with other people who are successful, because, you know, you never want to be the smartest person in the room, because if you are, you're probably in the wrong room. And then, of course, work smarter, not harder. There's only so many hours in the day for us, right? We can only do so much by ourselves. So you got to utilize tools and technology that we have available to us, right? So like a CRM to help you manage your clients. And then also AI. AI is freaking, you know, phenomenal right now, right? If you know about ChatGPT, what it can do for you, what can help you do, is absolutely amazing. And then, of course, don't be afraid to invest in your business. It's tough, right? When you're not quite making the money, you look at everything from a cost standpoint. Like, well, what's it going to cost me to do that? Is it worth it? Well, what's the cost for you not to do it, right? So you have to realize what the opportunity cost is of you not doing certain things. So you want to specialize in a real estate niche. You want to possibly even consider hiring a coach or a mentor to compress your learning timeline. Take continuing education courses that will teach you new skills, so that you're more valuable. And then, of course, you know, you only know what you know, right? So there's many things that you can always learn. So always keep learning. And then the next thing you want to do is, you know, focus and measure the activities that you're doing, because what gets measured gets done. So practice daily the activities that you're supposed to be working on. So, for example, if you're a cold caller, well, then you probably want to practice your scripts, right? So that you can communicate better. Also, you know, you want to set measurable goals. So every day, right? How many phone calls will you make? How many contacts will you actually talk to? So set a specific number of contacts, right? And it's not just enough to just dial numbers, but then if you're not actually talking to anybody, it's not going to get you anywhere. And then, of course, track the progress, right? So if you want to sell 100 homes, well, you have to track the progress. How many are you selling this month? How many are you selling next month? What's pending? Where are things going, right? And then lastly, you know, cumulative small actions every day will move you closer to your goal. Whereas a lot of other people talk about, you know, it takes massive action and takes, you know, to move the needle, right? To make significance. But in all actuality, you know, we are humans, right? It's not every day that we're going to put 100% of our attention, our energy towards our business. There's some days where we just don't feel, you know, quite into the mood of doing the work that we're supposed to do. But when you have times like that, you know, you have to take the small actions, and one of them might just be getting out of bed. You know, for some of us, that might be the hardest thing, right? Just to crawl yourself out of bed, go brush your teeth, wash your face, and then, you know, if there's hard things for you that you need to do that morning, you might want to delay it. But, you know, instead of just getting right into that, maybe you just call up one of your real estate agent friends, and you have a chit chat. You share what each other's doing, and maybe they'll rub off their energy on you, and then you will be prepared to do the hard things that you need to do. And another thing is, you know, every day you have to think about who's counting on you to be at your best, right? And so when things get tough, when you get distracted, when you fall out of your cycle, your mojo, right? And you're not consistent anymore, you feel like you're always having to restart every couple of days, right? Well, one thing that makes it easier is if you stop focusing, if you stop thinking about it from just you, like, just, you know, like, why is it all about you, right? But if you look at it from the perspective of who is depending on you to do what you need to do, right? So it might be your clients who need you to help them find a home or sell their home. It might be your family, right? Or they're counting on you to bring food, to maybe, of course, pay the mortgage, or take them on that Disney trip that you promised, right? So when you think of your work from now you're helping others and others are depending on you, it makes it a little bit more easier for you to actually perform the things that you're supposed to do, because now it's no longer about you. If you don't do the things that you're supposed to do, you're letting others down. So a little bit of a case study here. So just to put everything together, this is what I did for 2023, right? So my plan was at the beginning of 2023, I wrote down that I was going to do 30 transactions and I was going to earn $100,000 GCI, because, everybody wants to earn six figures. So those were my goals. And I wrote those down. And then what actions was I going to do to get there, right? And so the previous year, I was already doing a lot of work in social media. I was already building my brand through social media, and I was already doing a lot of shorts, a lot of reels, Instagram reels, Facebook reels, TikTok videos, whatever. So I was already doing all of that, and I was able to manage to complete 18 transactions in 2022. So to get to 30, I knew I had to implement something else. I knew I needed to level it up. And so one of the things that a lot of my partners were doing with great success was YouTube. And one of the things that I kept telling myself, limited beliefs, was that I didn't have the time for YouTube. It would take too long to shoot YouTube. It would take too long to edit. It would, just a bunch of excuses, basically, that I would tell myself. So I figured, if I got to double my production, if I got to make 100K, I need to stop telling myself these excuses, and I need to actually just do it. So in February of 2023, I launched my YouTube channel. My goal was to shoot 4 YouTube videos a month. And so my work mantra that I had at the time was that, hey, whether I got no results, I was going to keep working. I was going to keep making videos. Whether I had bad results, low view counts, low subscribers, it didn't matter. I was going to keep working. Whether I got great results, I got some leads coming through finally after a while. And I even closed a couple sales through YouTube, but I kept working. And, because the thing was, you have to be consistent. And consistency is key to keep your lead funnel full, to keep your work full, right? And the most important thing is to not give up no matter what the outcome is. So you have to really detach yourself from the outcome and just keep working your plan. So what were my results in 2023? Well, at the end of the year here, and I got one more closing to go, but once that closes, I will have closed 45 transactions for 2023. And that's, 15 over my goal, which is completely crazy. And the 100,000 GCI, I met that in July. And so that was also pretty crazy, how fast I did that. And then I even, just the last week, after my last couple closings, I earned eXp Realty's Top Producer Award, which is the Icon Award. And, this is something that I wasn't even planning to be able to accomplish so soon at my time at eXp, because I thought, that wasn't something attainable for me quite yet. And so it was absolutely amazing that I was able to do that. And it's really cool because now eXp Realty pays me back all my commission split that I paid them. So now I've earned 100% of my commission. So how did I do that, right? I just mentioned, I just talked about earlier, all the different, the headwinds that we have in the market that we saw in 2023, right? I'm in the same market everybody else is, right? I'm dealing with the same issues. So how did I do that? And so a quote I came across by Ryan Serhant, markets shouldn't dictate your outcomes. They should only dictate your strategy. And so during the year, as the interest rates kept rising, my retail buyers were falling, they were falling on the market. They were just fading. They didn't quite have the same energy. They weren't as motivated. They were like, you know what? I'm going to put this on hold for a while. And after a while, I was just like, well, I need to focus on a different type of client. And thankfully for me, I'm an investor. And so I have that investor knowledge. And so I work with a lot of investors. I switched my marketing. I switched everything to focus on investors, because there's another great investor that said, when people are, when people are fearful, it's time for you to be greedy, right? And so investors have a different type of money problem. It's not that they care about rates as much. They have too much money. They need help to put their money to work. And as long as the property that I find them hits their investment criteria, they are going to buy regardless of what the rates are. And so that's what I did. 90% of my business became investors. So this wraps up our presentation here. So how will your 2024 be, right? Will you do just enough to survive, or will you go out and dominate? Or you might be thinking, is real estate still the right career for you? And if that's where you're at, then stay tuned for Maitri's presentation, and she'll help you with your career alignment and purpose. And so thank you guys for being here. If there's any questions at all for me, please let us know.
Hey, everybody. Laura, fantastic present. Wow. You blew your goal by 50%. That is rock star. And one of the things that I appreciate about you is you're not just about business. You helped get the AREAA Greater Milwaukee chapter. You have volunteered to be the first president, which is a lot of work in our first year. You are a family guy. I love seeing all the pictures of you, and your success isn't just about selling real estate. Your success is about being successful with your life and your family, and that's a passion, and that's something that I know you and I and so many other great agents share. And so keep up the great work, folks. If you're interested in asking questions of the presenters, you may not have caught my instructions prior to 1 o'clock before we started. Please put them in our Q&A. That's the way we're communicating with you on questions, and we'll have some questions times in between our presentations. And then after Maitri is done with her presentation, we have all agreed to stay on up until 2:15 to have some dialogue and answer questions. While we're waiting to see if anybody types in, I'm keeping an eye on the Q&A. Wanted to ask you, Laura, a couple things. How many lead generation strategies do you intentionally employ? And then how do you follow up? And then how do you hold yourself accountable to making sure you do both of those things?
So the first question, how many lead generations strategies do I use? I do kind of basically two. I do social media and I do video content through YouTube, and they kind of go hand in hand. So I create the content in YouTube, I promote it on social media. And then how do I do the follow-up? Well, I use my CRM. Sometimes when the leads come through, I have this new CRM that has AI engagement, and it helps me as well. So it's immediately as soon as the lead comes in, the AI assistant kicks in, says, "Hey, welcome. I see you visited the website. Is there something I can help you with?" And so that's been really cool.
Excellent. Looking to see if there's any other questions that have come in. What do you use as an innovator? We've got a few more minutes. What do you use? Are there any specific books? I mean, if you were to say my 3 best books about being successful in real estate are, what are the ones that come top of mind for you?
I would say Ninja Selling is a really good one that I read early on in my career, and it's just a good kind of like the basics 101 of being a real estate agent. Have you heard that one? I'm sure you have, Troy.
Oh yeah. No, Ninja's one of my top 5 that I have on my list for sure, along with the Millionaire Real Estate Agent by Gary Keller and Jay Papasan. The One Thing by them. Eat That Frog is another one. Have you seen the Brian Tracy book, Eat That Frog?
I've heard of it. I've not read that one. I've read Brian Tracy's was it Maximum Life, I think. That's a really good one.
Yeah.
One of the ones I've read this year that's been amazing is 10x is easier than 2x.
Yeah.
That's a really good one. And
well, you're also, I'm sorry to interrupt. You're also in some EXP conversations going on all the time, right? You have like a online kind of meeting system.
Yes, yeah. We at EXP, we all have our own little organizations within EXP, and so we have our own mastermind clubs where we kind of just hang out and motivate each other, which is awesome because EXP is 50 states, and it's really easy for agents to feel open to share their strategies with each other because we're not necessarily in each other's market. So agents have that freedom and security to just share knowledge and help each other.
Yeah, and we do that with AREAA Greater Milwaukee as well, and in our events. One of the things I mentioned is, we've got a lot of great events coming up. We did have our leadership retreat at the end of November, and this month is our big event. And if you're an AREAA member, you can attend AREAA events at any organization of the AREAA. We're the 45th and most recent chapter. Tonight, I wish I could go down as the Chicago holiday party near Wrigley Field. We've got our Zoom event. In January, we're planning a Feng Shui event with the Wisconsin Chinese Chamber of Commerce. Our gala is February 1st. So in Milwaukee, that'll be awesome. And then our Future of Home Ownership series is going to continue. I'll mention some of the other things we've got going on. I'm going to look here to see if we have any questions that have come in. Mindset is key. Think about how it impacts others. I think, Laura, when you talk about, talking with other agents, energy is attracted to like kind of energy. So, positive energy and move, bodies in motion stay in motion. So get up, get something done. Someone here has typed, the social media really works and is more powerful and effective than most people think. I mean, why do you think that is, Laura?
I think it's mostly just awareness, right? And a lot of people talk about being a secret agent. And there's a lot of agents who get in the business and they don't want to intermingle their personal life with what they're doing, correct? And so they want to separate both of them. They want to have like a business page. But if nobody in their sphere knows what they're doing, then how does anybody know to use them? And so when they see their other friends and family buying a home and they didn't use them, then they're like, oh dang, why didn't they use me? Well, do they know that that's what you do? So,
yeah. Well, and I think you're super effective at showing you doing the job, right? You're talking about showings and you take pictures of the showings and you celebrate the wins. I think that gives people who are watching you from afar on social media, they're seeing you do the job. So I think when it comes to us as agents or as lenders, I know we've got a few lenders on the call. Thank you. That it's important that we show people that we're doing the gig and we're helping others and we're taking energy out of it. I've got one really quick question, and then we can move on to Maitri's present. What do you think are the next steps for our attendees to plan to have a great 2024?
Yeah, I mean, like I mentioned, figure out what you want to do, write down the steps, and figure out what actions you need to take, right? And so go from there, and just don't give up, because it takes a lot of time to actually create things and make things happen. You're not going to go viral overnight. You're not going to be an overnight success. So it took me 2 years to get to the point where I'm at. So it's going to take time.
Yeah, well, you're doing great. You're doing great. I'm just going to comment and thank you, Laura. That was fantastic. And remember, everybody, we'll have more time to interact with you. And if you have any questions, please put them in the Q&A for any of the presenters. One of the things that I saw in the poll that is a little different than what I'm used to understanding is I saw very few, if any of us, in the poll. I know I write my goals down for the day every day. I have a week, one, and a month, and I just didn't see that many people. I'd highly recommend that because if you're presenting, if you're only writing down your goals once a year, you need to be writing down the actions that will get you to those goals, and you need to be able to adapt. And as Laura mentioned, he was working on that adaptation to the market, right, to the strategy. The Sirhan quote. So, well, Laura, we'll put you in the bullpen for after Maitri's present. I am here and pleasure. It's my pleasure to introduce to everybody on the call my friend Maitri Meyer. She's with Actually Done, but Maitri and I, we go in the Wayback Machine to my early Madison days, 2003. I moved here, and then I was very active, and I still remain very active. One of the ways I lead generate is I'm involved in my community in a lot of passion areas and advocacy, and one of them is the Madison Downtown, Madison Incorporated, and Maitri back in the day used to work there. But besides that, she's also got a Wisconsin native, grew up at Heartland, right, I believe, on the 94 corridor between Milwaukee and Madison. We're two great cities. We should hang out more often together. I'll be in Milwaukee Saturday. The other thing, she's traveled extensively in Asia. And she is just a very innovative person. She was great to work with DMI. This has been fantastic. Set this up. I know she's got a few other things that she would like to say about the lead in. So I will get out of the way and have at it, Maitri.
Oh, thank you so much for that great introduction, Troy. Wow, what an awesome presentation. I love being invited to be a guest speaker for trade associations that are active like AREAA. I hope everybody joins and becomes a member. A couple other techie things since I'm kind of helping out on the back end. There are a couple questions in the Q&A specifically about YouTube for Lore, and we'll save those till after my presentation so he can verbally answer those again. I love learning new things, and a couple things I wrote down were no results, keep working. Bad results, keep working. Good results, keep working. Consistency is key. So that has been super helpful. So today I am tasked with teaching you a little bit about a concept that I call career alignment. It's the first step in a career process that I have created called career actualization. And let's see, we can see my screen. Perfect. Slideshow from the beginning. Okay, so my name is Maitri. Today we're going to be talking about career alignment, which is the first step in the career actualization process. It's basically figuring out where are you right now, because then you're going to figure out where do you want to go. So it's like putting your current location into a GPS. You're going to do some visioning and then strategizing to figure out where you want to go and figuring out the best way to get there. So in today's presentation, we're going to focus on where are you currently in your career. So again, thank you so much, AREAA, for hosting this live webinar. We have about 20 minutes to get a lot done. I have a big page of notes, but we're going to be talking about a few different concepts. The first is a Japanese concept called Ikigai, and I'll be telling you more about that and giving you an example. Second, we're going to determine how is your current career. Most of you are real estate agents. How does your current career fit in with your life purpose? How aligned is it? And then if it's not aligned, might you be looking at a career change in 2024? And if so, how could we go about doing that? So we are going to do a group exercise together. In the pre-resources that were sent out, I sent a PDF of the worksheet. So I'm hoping that everybody has something like this. I don't know if it's visible, probably not, already printed. Because if not, you're going to be handwriting something. So if you have a chance, maybe Kia can put that in the chat one more time. And while I'm going over the high-level concepts, you can get that printed. So today we're going to talk about career alignment using Ikigai. And everybody says, Iki what? Ikigai is a Japanese philosophy or concept that's been around for thousands of years. The easiest way that I explain it is it's your reason for getting up every morning. The literal translation is it's a reason for being. It's your life purpose. It's why life is worth living. So today we're going to talk about your career Ikigai. Some people might have a life purpose Ikigai, but they also have a career purpose Ikigai. Life is really awesome when those two match. What's the old saying? If you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. So I've been lucky. I have recently figured out my Ikigai. Oops, hang on. There we go. So my personal Ikigai is to match talent and opportunities so more people can live their Ikigais and organizations are propelled forward by passionate, skilled, top-notch employees. And you're going to understand all those pieces when we go a little bit further. I'm going to try to move this picture out of the screen. There we go. Okay, so this Ikigai Venn diagram was made popular by a man named Mark Wynn. It is all over the internet. So I'm assuming that some of you have seen this before. Hang on one second. I need to peek at my notes. I think we're good. Sorry about that. So this is the Ikigai diagram. It's composed of 4 circles. And at the center of that circle is where everything intersects. Most of the Ikigai experts that talk about this topic talk about the intersections of 2 circles. So what you love doing and what you're good at, where those 2 intersect, it's called your passion. Where what you love doing and what the world needs intersects, that's called your mission, and then your vocation and your profession. So that's when only 2 circles intersect. I've decided to take it a step further, and I love to talk about what happens when 3 circles intersect. So those are those much smaller leaf-looking shapes that are around that center star. And I haven't found anybody else on the internet that's really describing this in detail. So guess what I did? It was just published at 1 p.m. just for you on my YouTube channel. It's called Unlock Your Career Potential with Ikigai. It's 10 minutes long. So after this presentation, maybe you can take a moment to watch that. Secrets revealed by a career coach. So that would be me. Okay, so now that we have an idea what Ikigai is as a concept, what the Ikigai Venn diagram looks like, we're going to use that Ikigai Venn diagram so that we can use it to assess your current career alignment. How aligned are you with your career Ikigai? So we've put in the chat a couple times and sent you to a few times. This is your last chance to download and print that link because we're going to be going through this. If not, please get out a blank piece of paper because we're going to be drawing it 1 circle at a time. So on your worksheets, I did mark the 7 on each one of the circles, and that will make sense in a moment, because we're going to try to have a ranking of where you are in a scale from 0 to 10 on these 4 different criteria. And we're going to consider 7 kind of a break-off point. So if you would rank yourself exactly at a 7, try to make it a little bit more or a little bit less, just so that your results are a little bit clearer. Okay, so now we're going to get it started. So the first circle, what I love. So if noon if this is a clock face and at 12 noon is the 0. The 0 means I really hate what I'm currently doing. And down at 6 p.m. on the clock, that would be I love what I'm doing. I can't imagine it being any better. So let's look at your current career. We're using real estate as our example. Do I love real estate? Do I love helping people make the biggest financial decision of their lives? Do I like networking? Do I like prospecting and selling? Do I like showing houses? Do I like drafting offers, negotiating? Do I like the closing process? Do I like owning my own business with all the flexibility that brings, but also all the volatility and risks of owning my own business? So take a moment and in the what I love circle, go ahead and put either a big dot or an X from 0 to 10. How would you personally rate? How much do you love your current career? Okay, now we're going to do the same thing in the second one. What the world needs. And this is really your own opinion, your own perspective. So the world does not need my product or service. What I do for a living is like selling ice to Eskimos. That would be a 0, which is way over at the 3 o'clock place on the circle. At 9 o'clock would mean the world can't be sustainable, can't survive unless I am offering my product or service in my career. So again, for this one, this is your own opinion. Everyone is going to answer differently, even though many of us are in the real estate industry. Just think, does the world need realtors? Is this something that absolutely cannot survive without me providing these services? Is this a nice to have? Where is it on the 0 to 10? Okay, put another mark in your little spreadsheet, in your worksheet. And now the third circle. What can I be paid for? So the 10 would be up at 12 o'clock again, meaning I am making more money than I have ever made. This is an absolute dream. I didn't think this is possible. A 0 is I'm not meeting my monthly bills. This is super, super hard. So ask yourself, am I making a living wage? Am I comfortable? Am I meeting my financial goals? What is my level of satisfaction financially from a 0 to a 10? Again, put an X or a dot. Okay, final circle. What am I good at? The 0 at 9 o'clock is, yeah, I'm really not good at this job. I'm struggling like crazy. I'm failing. This is not working. 10 is, I am awesome. I was born to do this job. 0 to 10, 9 o'clock over to 3 o'clock. So do I receive excellent feedback and referrals? Am I able to efficiently do all of the tasks and processes needed for this career? Am I successful? Am I good at my job? However you define good. Okay, so now everybody should have 4 marks on their worksheet. I'd like you to play connect the dots. We're just taking the 4 dots and you're connecting them. If you have a very large shape, you are far away from your Ikigai, which is at the center, marked by a green star with the number 10 in it on the diagram. If you have a very small circle, you are living your dream job. Things are really good. So this is when I'd like Kia to launch another poll. And remember, this is anonymous. This is aggregate results. How aligned are you currently with your career Ikigai? So all 4 of your little points were greater than 7. They were in a bullseye shape. The circle was pretty small around the green star. Your current career is aligned with your Ikigai. The second choice, 2 or 3 of them were over 7, and the remaining were less. So it's kind of a lopsided shape. Some of them were far out towards the edges. Some of them were close. 1 to 2 circles were greater than a 7. It probably is going to be a pretty big shape, far from the purpose star. Okay, did everybody vote? Kia, let me know if we have some results.
So we have results coming in. 7 people out of the 21 that are attendees have voted. We're still getting votes coming in.
Okay, so let's let everybody think about this. So are all 4 greater than a 7? So it's a very small shape where a lot of the circles overlap. Are 2 or 3 of them towards the center, but 1 or 2 of them are further out? Or 0 or 1 of your X's are close to the center and 3 or 4 of them are on the outside? So if it's all 4 scored 7, it's going to be a bullseye shape. If almost all 4 are outside, it'd be a big, huge circle. How are we doing, Kia?
We're still waiting for more votes to come in. We have 8
Okay.
out of 21.
Okay, sounds good. So I'm going to go ahead and start interpreting some of the results. We'll show the poll in a second. So if you scored in the first one, congratulations. All of your scores are greater than a 7. You are right around that bullseye. You probably love your career. You are already living your dream job. If it's not quite right around the center, you probably know what needs to happen. You're getting your career goals written down and you are making them happen. So I tell these folks, congratulations, you are a rarity. Very few people figure out what they want to be when they grow up before they're done working. Unfortunately, it's kind of a sad situation. So share this information with others that might be struggling with their career, because you are my best referral partners, because you want other people to be living as happily as you. The people who are in the second category, that's where 50 to 80% of my clients are. And I have a very concrete process called the career actualization process that walks you through the steps from visioning to planning and strategizing to actually implementing the career actualization steps to be moving into the best career. So I highly suggest that you explore this topic further, and I'll share resources. And those of you that are in the third category, you have this gigantic shape, don't get discouraged, because for most of my career, that's where I was also. And I've just recently really figured out my Ikigai, and I'm in the process of recording YouTube videos, etc. So you have a chance. Sometimes it takes 2 career movements to get there, but it is definitely possible. It will just take maybe 1 or 2 steps to get to the center. Okay, I see the results just came in, and it looks like 62% of people are in that middle category, which is where 50 to 80% of my clients are. It usually just takes a modification, usually something relatively small, to get them to the center. When you're really far out, sometimes it takes 2 career moves. If you're already there, we just need refinements. So no matter who you are, no matter where you scored, I'd like everybody, I'm a coach, so I have to give everybody homework. I'd like everybody to think about this. What could be done to shift your shape closer to the center of that circle? And what things can you do that you have control over, and what things do you just have to let go because you can't? So thank you so much for listening. I am pretty close to out of time. I would like to suggest that everybody peek at my website. There's a whole bunch of resources there. Go to my YouTube channel. There's lots of resources there. And please send me an email. Let me know how this exercise was. Let me know if you learned any golden nuggets. So that's all I have, Troy.
All right. Well, thank you, Maitri. That was fantastic. What do you think? What are the next steps? If someone wants to learn more about career alignment, you've got the website there and your career actualization process. What would you suggest they do?
Yeah, I actually did put another slide together. So thanks so much for asking, because it's easier just to outline them for everybody. So I do have several resources on my YouTube channel. Like I said, I just launched a full 10-minute Ikigai explanation that goes into what happens when 2 circles intersect, what happens when 3 circles intersect, to really make that clear, because I went over it in about a minute. I also offer a 30-minute individual career needs assessment where you and I get on a Zoom call together and we go through a couple exercises together and we really discuss what might be the next steps for you. But for this group, I've decided to put a part 2 together. So today we worked on career alignment. Where are we currently in our career? But the next step is really visioning. Where do I want to go? And what strategies can I put into place to get me there? So mark your calendar now for Wednesday, January 17th at noon Central Time. I'll be sending this out in the follow-up resources. So this is I'm going to be sending some pre-resources, an Excel spreadsheet, a visioning exercise to be done prior to the call. and there's going to be a lot of group coaching. So it's a $250 value. It is $140 to sign up. It's going to be open to the general public. It's a business expense, so you can pay with your business credit card. And if you join AREAA, you'll be getting a $20 discount. So I'm hoping everybody is either already a member or will be joining soon. And just for people that are on this call live today, anybody that registers by midnight on Friday, I'll give you $40 off. So it'll be just $100. All right. Hope to talk to you all soon and help you move closer to your career Ikigai.
Thank you so much, Maitri. I am looking in the Q&A to see if anybody has any questions. Please, use those questions or use the Q&A for any of your questions. I know we've got one about YouTube, and Laura can talk about that here in a little bit. And then Kia just put in, if you're not a member yet, please consider joining AREAA Greater Milwaukee. And there's our link. AREAA is a fantastic organization. Maitri, you said, you said your passion, right? And, here's my spirit animal, he's my spirit animal. That's my screensaver. Oh, by the way, folks, have a fun screensaver when you work at coffee houses, because it starts conversations. I always pull it up and I leave my computer out so people can see it. And then I go get in line. And the next thing I know, I've got new friends, because people remember I like having fun doing what I do for a living. I wouldn't ever do anything that I can't have fun at doing for my living. Maitri, Ikigai, passion, what is it about passion that if you think real estate's your gig will help you succeed?
If you don't have passion, your clients will know. Mm-hmm. As we said, mindset matters, and you're not doing this for you. You're doing this hopefully to be helping other people, to be supporting your family. There's a greater good. And I'm a strong believer that if you're not passionate about what you're doing, you're probably not going to be good at it. You're probably not going to be making a living. That loving what you do, it's funny because most of the people I work with, they're making a lot of money. The world needs it. They're pretty good at it, but they hate it. Mm-hmm. I work with a lot of people that are in their 40s, 50s, and 60s that have been saying, this is work. I have to do it. I absolutely hate it. And I said, if you could get paid the same amount of money to do something else, what would it be? Mm-hmm. And they say, sustainability. I want to be saving the planet. And we make small tweaks. And I take a VP of project management, financial services, IT, and turn them into a climate sustainability data analyst. And he loves it.
Pretty cool.
Small tweak.
Yeah. My Ikigai, or my affirmation, another phrase to call it, is I enjoy being a leader in the real estate industry in my community through helping others achieve their goals. Really simple, because I think in real estate or lending or and just about anybody on this call, what we do is we achieve through helping others succeed. And I have a passion for it. I have to have fun doing it, like my guy Austin Powers. Let me check and see if there's any other questions. This has been fantastic, and thank you so much for the offer. Again, if you're not familiar with AREAA, please go to the website and see what we are about. It's about home ownership and helping people in the AA and HPI community live the American dream. But there's also fantastic training and other great programs. Laura, if you're still available, I would love to pull up that question that came in about the YouTube and how you handle the leads. Where did that go? Q&A. Do you upload the video on YouTube and then engage with them on the other social media platforms on other social media platforms? Or how do you engage with potential clients on YouTube?
Yes, so I create the video, right? And then it gets uploaded to YouTube. And the way I leverage social media, I simply share the link on my social media profile in Facebook groups. And I just kind of promote my video, right? So whatever I'm saying, trying to educate people on. So whether it's like a video about how to buy a house, well, I post it up and I say, hey, I just made a video about how to buy a house in 2023. And try to attract attention for people to click on the video. And then people will watch it, and whoever is interested in being a potential lead to purchase a home, and they say, hey, I'm ready, they will message me either through Facebook, or I've had a lot of people actually just watch my videos through YouTube's algorithm, because YouTube's also pushing out the videos to people who have similar interests, right? So YouTube, in a way, is already promoting you at the same time. And I've had people either send me emails through YouTube. I'll just get an email. I'll get random emails in the middle of the night. Hey, I just finished watching your video. I want to be a real estate investor. Awesome. Let's get started. So yeah, that's how I do that.
So, Milwaukee has been a resurgent market. It's one of the better major city markets. I don't know if the callers understand this. In terms of home ownership, millennial home ownership was studied by Rent Cafe between 2017 and 2022. So it includes 2 COVID years. It increased in Milwaukee in that time frame of the millennials 157%. Of the 110 major cities, metro cities in the top 110 in the country, the average increase was 64%. So it more than doubled. It finished third of the top 30 cities, in the top 30th largest cities. So it's been a success story, and investors has been part of that answer as well. So that's been a great market. So keep an eye on Milwaukee. We've got a lot. We have a lot of events in the Milwaukee area. I had mentioned some of the things that are coming up. We will have a Future of Home Ownership event. I met 2 weeks ago with Tom Larson, the incoming CEO of the Wisconsin Realtors Association, he was our chief lobbyist. He and I and legislators and perhaps Mayor Johnson will be presenting. We're shooting for a March event, so keep an eye out for that. We also will have Future of Home Ownership events throughout the state is the plan, and I've got 2 meetings next week. About this with a state group and 2 state legislators. So there's always something going on. I this is my passion is helping you and all of us and me have more homes that can sell that's appropriate. So looking to see if there's any other Q&As. If anybody has any questions, we've got some time to present. Laura or Maitri, if you had anything that you hadn't mentioned that you might want to mention, now's a good time.
I think Marie had a question earlier saying, how do I know what content to create in YouTube, and how often do I post, and how much time does it take to create one video? So as I mentioned earlier, I use AI. So ChatGPT is an awesome tool that I use to help create social media content. And it's as simple as going into ChatGPT and typing what are the top 10 things that a home buyer should know, and ChatGPT spits out 10 ideas. You choose one of the 10 ideas. You say, okay, I like the importance of being pre-approved, and then you say, tell me more about why buyers should get pre-approved, and then ChatGPT will spit out a little explainer, right? And then you can even go as far as, I want to create a YouTube video. Can you help create a script for why buyers should get pre-approved first? ChatGPT will go out. It'll create a whole entire script for you. And of course, you're not just going to blindly read it. You're going to go and edit it, make it sound like you. But it's as simple as ChatGPT will go like, hey, welcome to my channel. Today, we're going to talk about the importance of getting pre-approved. And it'll even have like cues for you and things like that. ChatGPT is so crazy. You really got to play around with it. And then how often do I post? Well, I try to post at least 2 videos a day now, because I've been super busy with all those transactions. But I don't even quite make that goal, to be honest.
Yeah, and there's another question for you. How important are testimonials for your business?
I think testimonials for all of us as real estate agents is pretty important. I mean, it's one thing for us to promote our own business all the time, right? But it sounds even better when other satisfied, happy customers are talking about us. And that's really the best gift that one of our clients can give us. So
yeah. Oh yeah. I think for great agents, 2/3 2/3 of our business every year is from referrals of people that we've worked with, being satisfied, and it's super key. I see Kia put in a link to our a gala coming up on February 1st. It'll be in Milwaukee. That'll be a blast. We're make it if you can. I had a question about accountability. Do you have an accountability partner?
Not a specific person per se, but I mean, I'm part of a EXP group. We have our weekly mastermind calls, and so we're continuously checking on each other. Hey, what's going on? What are you struggling with? What are your recent wins? Right? You share your wins and your losses, and you help motivate each other. So we have 3 calls a week, and we're always.
Oh, that's really cool. Are you for 2024? Are you considering any new business building or lead generating strategies?
No, I don't think so. I think what I really have going on is working for me right now, and that's kind of my niche right now. And I gotta perfect it more, because, like I said, I'm not consistent yet, and I'm not quite creating the content that's going to get the views that has been successful yet. So I still got to work on my craft there. So
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Somebody else has a question down here about what do they recommend to focus more on, social media, traditional, lead generation, cold calling, door knocking, things like that. I think it really comes down to the individual. I can't tell you what's good or not, because it depends what you're good at, right? There's people like Troy who are fantastic people person, and that's how they find their people. They just go mingle and talk to physical, real people. Me, on the other hand, I'm an introvert. I don't like to go out in public and talk to random strangers. Hey, I sell houses, and that's not me. But do what you feel best with, and work on it for a while. It's going to take time before you give up on it. You actually have to put your effort into it. So you can't say that you didn't fail because you didn't try your hardest. So.
Yeah, I think it's key and critical. I mean, one of the things I've been in the business for over 30 years, and I actually ran a Keller Williams franchise in Bellevue, Washington, and won the Growth Team Leader Award of the Year for that region in my first year. Is for most people, 4 or 5 lead generating strategies is about the max. Some people do 2 or 3 rock solid. Like, I know a guy in Seattle in the Queen Anne neighborhood. He just farms that neighborhood. That's it. That's all he does is farm that neighborhood. And he's got a database, and he calls 20 people a week from that neighborhood, and he does every open house he can in that neighborhood, and he's constantly flooding them. And he does 50 transactions in that neighborhood, and the average price is about $2 million a piece. That bingo, bango, bongo, that's a good income. And that's literally all he does for a lead generating strategy. Some folks like me, I'm a bit of a spaz, right? I drink too much coffee. I like the people stuff. I like the intentional networking. I think, Laura, that's one way to think about your activity as a national leader, because you, as president with AREAA, and another reason to join AREAA is that we as an association have a lot of events, and Laura and I and several of our people have been down to Chicago. We've had people go up to the Minneapolis. We had a lot of us were at the National Association conference, which would happen to be in Chicago this year. It's in Las Vegas this upcoming October. And that intentional networking, that's one of the things I taught my agents to be, who wanted to, who had a passion to do it, is super key. And I think, Laura, you're gonna meet some people in AREAA. I closed 8 homes from people that I met in AREAA in 1 year at the national conference. So that's one of the things I love about AREAA is the networking opportunities, and the learning opportunities like this seminar are fantastic. Maitri, if you're still in the wings, did you have anything to add while we were hanging out?
You guys are doing an
Oops, I think you hit your mute. Oh. Yeah.
Sorry.
There you go. Okay.
I hit mute and then I hit it again. So we are going to send the recording out afterwards, the slide decks, and we will send out a survey that'll be 100% anonymous. So we'd love everybody to fill that out. I believe AREAA is a relatively new organization, and you're going to be doing more of these educational type webinars in the future, I think. So if people have suggestions for content, that would be super helpful. And with that, are you okay if I launch the final poll for everybody quick?
Well, yeah, there is a final poll for those that are still on. I think we've lost a few folks. What motivated you to register for this webinar? That's good information for us, so we can fine tune. And then also just contact us if you have other webinar ideas. AREAA Greater Milwaukee, while maybe new, but this year in Chicago, we celebrated at the National Convention this October, our 20th anniversary nationally. It's a group that started in the San Francisco Bay Area and has done fantastic things for the AA and HPI community and for real estate and for communities in general. So I'm going to look at the questions again. Follow-up. Laura, you've hit it a couple times. You use AI effectively as follow-up. When do you make that decision to make the phone call yourself?
Yeah, so actually the AI tool I use is pretty smart. When the person says, hey, I want to see a property, the AI will message me, it'll text me on my phone, hey, this person needs immediate attention. So it's kind of kicks me, like gives me a kick to pick up the phone and call them. And that's what I do. Yeah,
I think that's one of the AI it would be nice, especially because you can. Is that Chime or they've named Chime something else now? I keep forgetting the name.
Lofty now.
Lofty.
Yeah.
I like Chime better. Anyway, but it does allow you to create it in your own voice. We have Chime through Real Broker or Lofty. I didn't use it for a couple months, so I waived it. But my number one tech thing to employ on my business plan this year. Bring it back and use it, learn it, use it, because I know that as realtors, and for the last 30 years, I've been getting emails and people at conferences having all these shiny baubles that say, yada, 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 I'm going to make you $1 million and make you a successful realtor. But it's what you'll use, right? And what's working for you or what's working in the industry. And clearly, the AI stuff has improved so much. I'm a big fan of a lot of other tech strategies and actually a spokesman for predictive variable analytics with the offers group. So looking to see if we have any other questions. Anybody see one that I haven't seen?
I don't think so.
I think we're caught up. If you have a question, please pipe it in right away. I'll ask. I was thinking, Laura, do you schedule? Do you have it set in a Google Calendar? Your social media post, or how structured are you to make sure that you hit your priorities?
Yeah. So as far as social media goes, I just it's like I follow Gary Vee, where Gary Vee's like, you got to go beyond just making one business post a day, right? Gary Vee puts out like 8 pieces of content a day. So, and that's the funny part. So a lot of real estate agents will meet me and they'll be like, hey man, why do I always see your stuff? Like, is there is my Facebook broken? Like, why am I always seeing you? And then it's because, they're always interacting with, my content, and so Facebook just constantly throws it in their face. And so I think that's just what you got to do. You just got to create more content. So
great. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for attending, and to our 2 presenters. Way to go. Thank you, Maitri and Laura, and thanks so much, Kia, for being the best tech assistant a Zoom host could ever have. And I want to thank you again all for being involved. Remember, AREAA.org. Check us out. Join us if you can. It's only $99 for the full year. It is prorated. And we do great events. And February 1st, we're having a big gala. We are also attending the Wisconsin Realtors Association Realtor and Government Day here in Madison in early February. So we're here for you. Future of home ownership. Get out and sell, have some fun, and follow your passion. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Thanks.
Bye.